Hello everyone, welcome to Scalar's YouTube channel. My name is Sumesh Shukla. I'm a senior data scientist and an educator. Do you want to get into data science? Do you want to become a data analyst, business analyst, or a data scientist? Well, in this particular video, I will help you with a complete journey that you should follow in the year 2024 to become a successful data scientist or a data science professional. But before we start this video, don't forget to check out Scalar's free masterclass by leading industry experts. The link is in the description box. So let's get started. Now, before I take you through how to become a data scientist or a data science professional in this year, let me help you with my journey. Now, I was in my college and that was year 2015. And I was doing my bachelor's of technology from one of the very renowned college in Chennai. You will be shocked to know that before that, I was not even aware about technology. I was not aware about smartphones. I was not aware about what is YouTube. I was not aware about any programming language. But one day, my professor asked me that there is a professor in the medical science college. So we have a medical science college in our campus itself. And my professor asked me to reach out to that particular professor because he was looking for some help related to one of his project. Now, when I visited him, I found out that he was working in one of the project where he was trying to detect breast cancer using X-ray images. I was trying to understand his project, but the problem was he was looking for a particular student or a person who can help him code in Python. Now, that was first time in my life when I heard this term Python, and at that time, Python was equivalent to a snake for me. So that was the level of technology awareness that I used to carry at that point. Now, in the span of 1 month, I was able to transition myself into a technology person. I was able to start my journey in Python. I started coding. I participated in his work. I participated in his research paper also. And I was able to completely transform myself in 1 month. Now, how is it possible? Like how a person can do such a great transition in just 1 month? Now, this is what I'm going to help you in this particular video. But there are some mistakes that I have done. And if you ask me to start or restart my journey in the year 2024 from very level 0, then what steps I will follow, that is what I'm going to help you in this particular video. Now, I have divided this complete video into 3 segments. First of all, what I will do, I will help you with all the concepts, technology, and techniques that you need to learn to get into data science. I will keep my discussion around a broad picture, which basically means a broad data science umbrella in which you will find out all the related techniques and technology. The second discussion which I will do is related to various professionalism. So for example, if you are a student, then what path you should follow? If you are a working professional with the experience of 0 to 3 years, then what path you should follow? And if you are a working professional with more than 3 years, or maybe you are working in the industry for more than 5 years, then what kind of path you should follow? By the end of this video, I will help you with the preparation. So once you have learned everything, then how you should prepare to enter into a particular company, how to crack interview, what kind of resume you should create, what kind of portfolio you should create, and so on. So let's get started. Let me first of all tell you about what mistakes I did, and then I will help you with everything. Now, when I was trying to learn Python, I started learning Python from YouTube. And the problem using YouTube was YouTube is a particular platform where you will find out enormous information. So you just write down what you want to learn and you can find out 1,000 videos related to that topic. But in the year 2015, there was very limited number of videos, and most of the videos were from the founder of maybe the person who invented Python. So when I was learning Python, it was not specific to data science. It was in general Python, and I learned everything actually. I was learning Python, I was learning C++, I was learning Java even when it was not required. So I was learning everything because I was not having a particular person who can mentor me. And this is the major mistake which I committed in my career. I learned everything that came into my path, and I wasted a lot of time, and I was not able to focus my path. I was not able to focus in what direction I want to proceed. So in the first 3 months, when I started working with my professor, I learned everything. I was learning mathematics, statistics, probability. I was learning coding also. I was learning concepts related to data science, and in general, I was learning about technology. But not everything is required in the industry. Not everything is utilized in the industry. So you need to be really focused. So one learning that I gained from my journey, my career, and today I'm sitting over here, what all I have done, there is one mistake that I did was not consulting to a person who is actually a data scientist. So there is always a need of a mentor. Now, if you are thinking to start your journey, if you are thinking to become a data scientist, if you are thinking to get into this particular path, first of all, talk to a few people. Just talk to them. And if you go through LinkedIn, there are various professionals who are working in data science. You will find out various professionals who are with the similar kind of age group, who are with the similar kind of a professional background, and who are in the similar kind of educational background. So find out people who are similar to you and try to talk to them so that you can understand if data science is actually for you or not. Just try to understand their day-to-day life, what all they did, and what mistakes they did. Now, this is very much important so that you can perfectly decide and you can make your mind that, okay, now I want to become a data scientist, because becoming a data scientist is not a one-day task. It is a continuous process, and you have to invest a lot of time, a lot of energy. You need to continuously practice, and you need to learn new techniques and technologies that are coming every day. Now, there are developments that are made every day in the field of data science. You might have heard about ChatGPT, you might have heard about transformers, you might have heard about various AI technologies that are coming into picture. Now, if you want to adopt all of them, if you want to utilize all of them, you need to continuously learn. And the kind of atmosphere we have in today's time is about continuous learning. So if you can become a lifelong learner, if you can learn every day, then data science is a career point, or maybe is a career field for you. Now let me tell you about what path you should follow to become a data scientist, or in general a data science professional. Now my discussion would be in general, but later on in the second part of this video, or maybe in the second half of this video, I will also help about the dedicated path for each of the field. So first of all, if you want to become a data science professional, the very first thing that you need to work on is improve your maths. Now, one advantage that I always carried with me was being a very good student in maths. I was a full scholarship student in my college, and the particular topic, or maybe the particular subject that took me into that college was mathematics. So I always enjoyed working with maths. And that was also one of the advantage why I was able to become a data science professional. So if you want to become a data science professional, you do not need to be very good in maths, but a little bit understanding about mathematical concepts is really important. Please remember one thing, when we talk about data science, data is all numbers. And if you want to analyze numbers, if you want to play with numbers, if you want to extract some information about the numbers, or maybe from the numbers, you need to utilize the concepts related to mathematics. Now, what in maths? You guys must be thinking maths is a very broad topic. People do PhD in that. So what essential topics are required in maths? The very essential topic is statistics and probability. Please remember one thing, in data science, most of the time we do estimations and predictions. Now we try to estimate what is going to happen, or maybe we try to estimate the value of a particular product. Let's say you are working in Amazon and you want to estimate what should be the correct price value of a certain product based on a similar products. So you try to estimate. Sometimes you try to predict. So you try to predict what is going to be the sales of this particular product. So estimations and predictions are something which you can do using statistics and probability. So the very first topic that you should focus in maths is statistics and probability. Simple concepts such as mean, median, mode, and concepts like central limit theorem. So there are variety of concepts, but in nutshell, if I tell you one particular segment of maths, that is statistics and probability. Now the second segment that you need to be little bit clear about is calculus. I know most of you are worried about calculus. In your 12th standard or maybe in your 11th standard, you might have gone through calculus, but a little bit clarity is required, because when you enter into machine learning is all about playing with maths. It's all maths. So a machine learning model is particularly created based on calculus, based on vectors, and based on algebra. So a little bit clarity, because right now your objective is to enter into data science. So when you want to enter, the very first priority is to clear your concept in statistics and probability, then little bit about calculus and vector algebra. A little bit portion will be enough. One particular note in this particular point, if you want to learn about statistics and probability in detail, you can check out my video on Scalers YouTube channel with the name Full Course on Statistics and Probability, and you will be able to learn all the essential topics that are required. Now, once you are done with maths, the particular second step is to get understanding about the concepts related to database and servers. Please remember one thing. If you want to analyze your data, you need to first of all understand where the data is kept. Now, where people are preserving their data. If you think about companies like Amazon, Flipkart, or many major firms like Google, where they preserve their data. So you need to learn the concepts of database. Database is the simplest concept where people preserve their data. Now, associated to that, once you understood the concept of database, the associated concept is SQL, Structured Query Language. Now, this particular language will help you to start building up your logic on how to code things. What is SQL in a very general language, or in a very general, I would say, definition? So, when these companies preserve their data in a database, and let's say you want to extract some information out of it, you want to extract some piece of data out of that major data, then how you are going to communicate to this particular database that I need this portion of the data? The kind of language you need to ask the database, you need to ask the database that I need this portion of the data, is what SQL is. So SQL is like a communication language between you and the database. So when you start working on SQL, when you start coding on SQL, you will be able to also improve your logical thinking, because the way we talk, the way we think, the way we write SQL code, and it is not known as code, it is known as query. So the way you write SQL query is the way we think. Now, once you are done with this, you should proceed to Excel. Most of us think that we all know Excel, but there is a very popular meme, and I created one meme in LinkedIn, which is from the movie Main Hoon Na. So where Ram used to say to his brother Lakshman that Excel to sabko aata hai, lekin sabko nahi aata hai. So the reality is we all think that we all know Excel, but the reality is there are very few people who actually know what is the power of Excel. When we talk about this particular simplest tool, which is Excel, if you really know Excel and how we work on Excel, you can develop such a great quality in yourself that in industry, you will be a very respected person. So when I was in my college, I used to think that Excel is something which is not required, and Excel is something which is easy. Anyone can learn. But when I actually started learning Excel, I found out that there are so many things, so many amazing things that you can do. You can perform basic data manipulation in Excel. You can use all the statistical concepts. You can even do a bit of machine learning also. You can do visualizations. You can create dashboardings. you can automate Excel and what not. You can even create a small application also, like applications where you want to enter the data and let Excel to process it and let Excel to display you the result. All these things can be done in Excel. Again, I have created a video on Scalar's YouTube channel, from Scalar 0 to Hero. You can check that video, and over there, I have also talked about how to use Excel macros, which is the way to automate Excel. So all those details are available. You can go and learn about that. Once you are done with Excel, then the next step is to learn about data visualization. Now, being a fresher in data science field, being a person who is trying to adopt data science field for a very first time, in industry, you will be considered as a data analyst. The very first position that you will be considered for is a data analyst. I will talk in detail about what are the various positions and everything based on your profile. But as of now, if you want to enter into data science field, the very first position that the industry will offer you is of the position of data analyst. And being a data analyst, there is a very important tool which is known as either Tableau or Power BI, which are focused into data visualization. So if I give you a certain amount of data, let's say data about various orders that are getting placed in Amazon. Now, how you can represent that data to business stakeholders? Because if you talk about a business owner, let's say founder or co-founder or maybe manager, or a person who is looking at the logistics, who is looking at the complete supply chain, then those people do not have that much time to go through each and every row, go through each and every data point in your data. They need a visualization, they need a particular graph that can help them to look into the overall picture about what is happening good and what is happening bad. So being a person who can convert the data into visualizations, into plots, into graphs, is a very renowned skill in the industry. There is a dedicated position which is known as a BI analyst that is there in industry, in which the job of the person is to just make sure that from the data, the person is able to convert that data into plots, into graphs, into beautiful visualization, so as to make it easy for the business person, for the business stakeholders to make sense out of it. Now, once you are done with this, you are ready with one position. So what all topics you need to learn? Number one, a clarity in maths, followed by the concepts related to database and servers, followed by SQL, followed by Excel, and at last, a little bit about one of the tool, either Tableau or Power BI, to understand the concepts of data visualization. If you are done with this particular bucket, you are ready to enter into the industry. So these many topics are essential, or maybe I would say bare minimum, to enter into the industry as a data science professional. Now, there are multiple positions that might get offered to you based on these skills, but this is what you need to start with. Once you are done with this, then next is how you need to advance yourself. So this is basic, this is level 1. How you can get into level 2. Let's try to understand that. Now in level 2, we will have to start learning Python. Now please remember one thing, in level 1, where we have learned about Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, and maths, some of the people might suggest you to also learn Python. There is no such distinction actually. In industry, there are various positions. In industry, there are various requirements also. So Python is something that I prefer teaching students in the second level, because Python requires a bit of clarity. Python requires a bit of mind map, which can let students to start thinking more logically. Now, once you are clear with these basics, you have already developed some kind of logical thinking, some kind of structural thinking, some kind of thinking in the way of how to code things. So learning Python would be really easy. Please do not start your journey with Python. Now, Python is not data science. Python is just a tool. Now, if you want to analyze data, you might need Python, but you do not only need Python. It is a requirement, but it is not only the necessity. So first of all, clear your basics. First of all, get your hands dirty in Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, so that you can generate a bit of understanding about how data works, how data process. And then you can start with level 2. Within level 2, start with Python. Now in Python, you should invest a good amount of time. So if you're learning Python, don't learn Python just for data science. Now, when I talk about learning Python, there can be two segments. Number one, Python for data science. Number two is advanced Python. In Python for data science, you need to learn, you need to start learning about various libraries. And even before that, there is basic Python. So in Python, you can assume 3 branches. Number one is basic Python, which will help you to start working with Python, the various data objects in Python, the various data types in Python. So basic Python. Then the second segment is your Python for data science. Now in this particular segment, you might have to learn libraries such as pandas, NumPy, matplotlib, seaborn, scikit-learn, scipy, stats module, and so on. Now once you are done with this, once you are done with these 2 buckets, and once you have started working on few projects. So if you want to learn Python, don't just watch videos, also work on it. Take some projects, take some data, start coding on it, try to find out some pattern, do some analysis. This is how you should learn Python. Once you are done with these 2 buckets, then jump to advanced Python. Now advanced Python is about how you can optimize your code, how you can better write your code. In advanced Python, you will learn concepts about what is the time complexity of writing code, how to write advanced loops, how to make sure that your code is optimized and not taking so much time. So advanced Python is really important if you want to take your journey towards AI engineer or towards ML engineer or towards ML ops. And this is a very important component. So when you are learning Python, make sure you learn complete Python. Don't leave it in middle. Now, once you are done with Python, which is the complete Python, you should start learning classical machine learning. Now, some of you and some of the people in industry might not suggest to learn classical machine learning. But if you want to take your career towards let's say NLP engineer or ML engineer or ML ops, or even learn computer vision or even AI, then in that case, the understanding of classical machine learning is really important, because until and unless you do not know from where all the techniques has originated, you will be finding it really difficult to understand the concepts of NLP, deep learning, and so on. So within machine learning, and I would term it as classical machine learning, there are 2 major segments: supervised, unsupervised. Now within supervised, I will name few algorithms which are essential according to me. So this particular the particular algorithms that I'm going to tell you is according to me, which I think are very essential for any machine learning student to know. Now in supervised machine learning, the very first technique is linear regression. So within supervised machine learning, you have regression and classification, but within regression, there are very, very important techniques. One of them is linear regression. So when you are talking about linear regression, you will be learning about how to make predictions. This is a part of predictive analytics. So start with linear regression, learn about logistic regression, followed by KNN, which is also known as K nearest neighbor. Then you can talk about decision trees, random forest, boosting algorithm, and at last you can also talk about naive Bayes and SVM, support vector machine. All these supervised machine learning algorithms are the part of classical machine learning, but they are really important. There might be people who will not give more preference to these algorithms because these algorithms are now outdated. But if you really want to make your base concrete, you want to make sure that you are actually very much confident with any new machine learning algorithm that is coming into existence, All the machine learning algorithms that are nowadays available are somewhat related to these classical machine learning algorithms. So when you are learning about them, make sure you also learn about their maths, how these algorithms are implemented, what is the logic behind them, how they are able to solve a problem. Once you learn about their maths, also learn about their implementation. So when you are learning any algorithm, divide the particular learning into two components. One is maths, which basically means how the algorithm is working. The second is the implementation part, how that particular algorithm is getting implemented in one of a data or a business problem. Now, there is a note in this particular point. If you want to learn about machine learning, I have created a dedicated course on Introduction to Machine Learning with Predictive Analytics. You can check out in the Scalers YouTube channel. Now, once you are done with machine learning, the next step is to do some projects. Because once you have aggregated this much information, this much knowledge, you have completed level 1, you have completed level 2, you should start doing some good amount of projects. Now, there is a very great website known as Kaggle, and that website comes with a huge repository of data. Go through that website, you will find out a community which is really helpful. You can enroll yourself, it is free of cost. Look for some exciting competitions that are going, maybe that are live, and then participate in them. Solve the problems. If you are not able to solve them, there are people who are very good in Kaggle. You can take help of them, you can post your questions, and that is how you can learn from community. Now, at my point, when I was trying to learn machine learning, there was no such great support from community. But now, since there are so many people in the community who are working in the field of data science and machine learning, you will find out a great support that will actually help you to solve any kind of problem that you encounter. So do projects and create your portfolio. Now, once we are done with the level 1 and level 2, which is I say as core data science, you have cleared your basic understanding, you have created a concrete base. Now, those of you who are interested in enhancing your knowledge a little bit more and enter into a specialized field of data science, then there are 4 broad specializations which are available. One is known as NLP, natural language processing. Second one is DL, which is deep learning. Third one is computer vision. And fourth one is ML ops. And ML ops is one such field which is very much popular nowadays. So who should choose this particular field? Now, this is not for students. This is not for professionals with less than 3 years of experience. These specializations are something which I would recommend only for those people who are already working in the particular field of business, in a particular industry for a very long time, let's say 5 years or 10 years. Because when you enter into a specialization, you need to be very good in mathematical concepts. That is very much required. You need to be very good in data science, which you have already done in level 1 and level 2. But you also need to be very good in business. So there is a very great requirement of business. If you are not clear with business, then it will be really difficult for you to get into the position of a specialized data scientist. Now, what is NLP? NLP stands for natural language processing, which basically means how you can interpret textual data. So let's say, if I take the example of Amazon, and if you go through the Amazon website or any product page, you will find out the feedback. Now, Amazon is able to understand whether that feedback is positive or negative, and based on that, Amazon is able to change the color of that particular feedback. How it is possible? This is possible based on the NLP concept, the NLP power that is working behind the Amazon website. So these kind of amazing things can be done using NLP. When we talk about deep learning is nothing but the advanced version of how machine learning can be implemented, how predictive analytics can be done using a complex network of neurons. The way we human things, the way our brain works is the similar way how deep learning works. It is a very complicated technique, and those of you who are willing to enter into this field, make sure you are very good in maths, very comfortable in maths, plus you are very good in coding. And when I say coding, Python, because Python is a very useful, I would say very advanced tool, and there are a lot of libraries which are available to implement deep learning techniques. Those people who are very much interested in image data, so let's say you wanted to create a particular tool that can recognize your face, or maybe if you show that tool your Aadhaar card image, the tool can extract the Aadhaar card number. So this particular type of technique comes into the field of computer vision, and there are dedicated experts who create such application in order to solve such business problems. The last technique or the last field is MLOps. Now this is the, like I would say, it is the latest field of data science that has been came into picture. And I would say in the last 3 years, this field is getting much popularity, because nowadays when we talk about implementing a machine learning model in server, we also need to make sure that the particular machine learning model is available to variety of people, to the mass audience. Just let's take one example. In the India-Pakistan match which recently happened, some 1 crore people or 2 crore people were watching that match simultaneously. Now that number is a huge number. How a particular mobile platform can handle this huge audience? Now this particular problem is such a difficult problem to solve that there is a dedicated field and there is a dedicated group of experts who work behind this. Similarly, if there is a machine learning model, how I can make sure that that model is available to everyone, no matter how many people utilize it simultaneously, and it works without any problem. That particular field is nowadays known as MLOps. You need to learn additional concepts also. A little bit of DevOps is also required in this. But again, those of you who are already done and very much good with all the basics, and even you who already have worked into the software side for a very long time, can enter into MLOps very easily. Now, this is the broad path for any data science professional. Maybe if you want to enter into data science in 2024, I have told you a complete broad path based on tools and techniques. Now let me tell you a path based on your professional background. So let's take a student, then let's take a particular professional with less than 3 years of experience, and let's take a professional with maybe 3 to 10 years of experience. So let's try to understand professional based path. Now if you are a student, then you should not target for the positions such as deep learning engineer, ML engineer, ML ops, or maybe NLP engineer. The positions that you should target is of data analyst or maybe data scientist. I would suggest all the students to focus on data science with level 1 and some portion of level 2. Now focus most on level 1, which is maths, which is probability statistics, Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, and little bit of Python. So level 1, you should have a strong understanding. Little bit of level 2 is what is required for the position of data analyst, and this is only for students who are freshers and who are looking into transition into the data science field. You can search for positions such as data analyst, business analyst, maybe BI developer, Tableau developer, Power BI developer. So there are multiple positions. Even there are dedicated positions related to Excel also. So you can search for such positions which are always open for freshers and students. Now, if you are someone who is working in the industry for, let's say, 2 years or 3 years or less than 3 years, then you can target for the position of data scientist. People prefer hiring those professionals who come from little bit industrial background. So let's say you are working in e-commerce from last 2 years. Now, if you learn level 1 and level 2, so for you level 1 and level 2 is required. If you learn this level 1 and level 2, plus your industrial knowledge, which is at the background of e-commerce, this complete package will help you to enter into e-commerce field as a data scientist. So those of you who come from industrial background with the experience of 2 years, 3 years or less than 3 years, data scientist is the position that you should target with your industrial background and level 1 and level 2. Now, those of you who are highly professional, 3 years, more than 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and so on, in that case, you can target for data scientist position, plus you can also enter into specializations. Now, to enter into specializations, you need to first of all make sure that you have a clarity in level 1, level 2, and you have done some good amount of projects. Now, since you are already working in a very renowned position, let's say you are a manager, you are a senior manager. Now, being a senior manager, your salary will also be really high. So, a particular industry will not accept you as a data scientist with same level of salary. So, what I suggest you is do some projects being in your position itself. So, you are a let's say you are a senior manager and you have the access of some data. Take that data, try to do some projects, try to solve your business problem. And this can be your side project. So you are trying to solve your company problem, but you are doing it as a side project. This is really important for all of those people who wanted to directly enter into a data scientist position or maybe a specialized position with same level of salary. Because nobody is going to hire you if you haven't solved a real business problem. So being a particular person as a senior manager or as a person who is very senior in his or her field, do some side projects which involves the data from your company itself. Do some projects that you can showcase in your CV or your resume. And once you are done with this, then try to learn the concepts of one of the specialization, whichever specialization you want to take ahead as your career. And once you're done with that, then you can start looking for opportunities with the same level of salary expectations and with a extended or maybe with some increment also. That is only possible when you are actually, when you have actually solved some business problem. Now, this was dedicated path for each of the business field or each of the professional background. A general instruction, maybe a general note to all the people who are listening to me. It might happen that you might face a lot of difficulties. You might find difficult to learn maths. You might find difficult to learn Python. Some of you might find difficult to understand machine learning. And deep learning is really complex, so some of you might find difficult to understand deep learning. Well, becoming a data scientist is not a one-day task. Please remember it. It is a continuous process. So keep yourself dedicated into that field, into this particular field. You have to learn every day and don't try to transition immediately. Take some time to make sure that you are clear with your basics. Take some time to make sure that you are actually very good in all the basic concepts so that when you try to attempt any interview, you are able to actually explain your potential. So nobody is interested in hiring a particular person who has done a rote learning. Try to grasp the concept. Try to make sure that you actually enjoy learning these concepts. So love what you are trying to do. So that was all about this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope I was able to clear your doubts regarding the field of data science and how you should start your career in the field of data science in this particular year. So before we end this video, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends who are looking to enter into the field of data science, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Good luck.